new McCain ad compares Obama to Paris Hilton and Britney Spears, and the celebrity versus substance debate begins.
Quote, "This is the moment that the world has been waiting for. I have become a symbol of the possibility of America returning to our best traditions." His campaign has also said the odds of them winning this campaign are pretty good. But at the same time, today's latest Gallup tracking poll only has Obama leading McCain nationally by 4 points, not exactly the landslide. These comments, this is the moment, as Nancy Pelosi said, that the world has been waiting for. I have become, this is Barack Obama, the possibility of America returning to its best traditions. Now, you were the first person to use the adjective arrogant to describe Barack Obama. We had the incident with the presidential seal. He's going to replace the bowling alley with basketball courts, no TVs in the Lincoln bedroom. He talks about a second term, and he refers to the time when he was a senator. What's going on here?
Look, he's getting a little cocky, and in politics, when you get that kind of hubris, those whom the gods destroy, they first make prideful, and he's getting a little prideful. Look, I think a lot of the trip to Europe was an example of arrogance. I mean, it's one thing to go to Afghanistan.
I can tell you that the Washington Post even reports that Democrats are stunned at the arrogance of this statement. And back to that trip, how damaging was it that he didn't go to visit those injured troops, that he decided to go work out when the Pentagon was ready and receptive for him to be there? Yeah. He even went further today in Springfield, Missouri, Carl, and he said that the oil companies are shoving this thing down the throats of Congress, and they know everyone wants to pretend that they're doing something about the energy crisis, and he called it a scheme, their desire to have offshore drilling. He's really painted himself into a corner. At the same time, Harry Reid and Nancy Pelosi seem willing to move towards a vote, which they've been reluctant to do.
Yeah. Look, this is an issue in which Americans have had their mind. In London said, I was going to be accompanied by one of my advisors, a former military officer, and that was going to create problems, and as a result, he decided not to go. That's from his news conference, his own words.
Those were his own words, and then he went to work out instead of going to see the troops, and everything else was a well-choreographed photo opportunity, and I agree wholeheartedly with you. I want to talk about the polling. That one Gallup poll, all over the weekend we heard the Berlin bounce. He's up by 9 points. He's now lost more than half of that since then. But more importantly, John McCain was winning by 4 points among likely voters. So what I'd like you to break down for us, Carl, is likely voters, registered voters, that 4-point lead by Senator McCain, and polling history. If we go back, and the Hotline had a piece on this today, suggests that if we're going to look at the last number of elections, but for 2000, the last 5 of them, John McCain will gain 15 points between now and Election Day, if you believe history will repeat itself.
And if neither of them have it, what do we do?
Well, what would you think of a Joe Biden?
I think Joe Biden is fabulous. I mean, I'm a Joe Biden fan. Oh,
he is so arrogant.
Stop it.
He's so full of himself. Oh, please.
Please.
By the way, he's the smartest man in the room. Just ask him. He'll tell you.
Well, he is. Well, if he was sitting here with the three of us, I would agree with that.
He's so pompous. It's unbelievable.
He is just...
By the way,
John McCain
the world is waiting for Barack, the anointed one. That's what he said. The world is waiting for him. Okay, and coming up next, thank you. I want to add one thing. Jeb Bush opposed it when gas was $1.50 a gallon. He's now changed his position, Governor. He supports offshore drilling. One of the things that's infuriating to me, and I listen to Barack Obama, what does he think the price, if he were right, and by the way, he's totally misinforming the American people. I've interviewed the experts. We can touch that oil in the Outer Continental Shelf that we haven't touched in 2 years. We can have oil in Anwar in as few as 4 to 5 years, according to the experts that know. So that's a misnomer. But what does he think the price is going to be in 10 years? It was $19 a barrel when Clinton vetoed that in '95, the Anwar bill. I could be charitable and say that the Democrats, including Barack Obama, are misinformed. Or I could go with my instinct and say they're being downright, purposefully dishonest. But this is now being held up particularly by Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid in the United States Senate, the United States House. And you just heard today in Springfield, Missouri, Barack Obama say this is an oil company scheme. Controversial rapper Ludacris just released a new song praising Barack Obama while bitterly attacking Hillary Clinton and John McCain and Jesse Jackson. Take a listen.
Hillary hated on you, so that is irrelevant. Now Jesse talking slick and apologizing for what? If you said it, then you meant it how you want it. Had a gut. And all you other politicians trying to hate on my man, watch us win majority vote in every state on my man.
That said, quote, this song is not only outrageously offensive to Senator Clinton, Reverend Jackson, Senator McCain, and President Bush, it is offensive to all of us who are trying to raise our children with the values that we hold dear. While Ludacris is a talented individual, he should be ashamed of these lyrics. Carolyn Heldman is with us. All right, Carolyn, let me start with you. This to me represents everything about Barack Obama. It shows his flip-flops, and it also shows yet another radical association. For example, we've got Resco, we've got Wright, we've got Ayers, we've got Flager, all long-term relationships of Barack Obama. Now we discover here is his friend Ludacris. We found out he once called him a great talent. Even at the time that he had all these albums out, using the N-word, calling women bees and hoes, Ludacris in 2007 did a fundraiser for Barack Obama. They had meetings that were on the record in Chicago together. So he flip-flops, and he has another radical association, but I'm sure we should just ignore this because it's Barack Obama, and he is the anointed one, and we overlook it, right?
Well, Sean, I don't think we're going to ignore it. I do think that there are real issues with these lyrics. I don't think anyone would disagree with you. Yeah. And certainly not Barack Obama. I mean, his campaign has come out and roundly criticized this. And
not
again,
him. Not him.
Well,
why,
his campaign has.
Why would he call him once a great talent? It's just like Reverend Wright, my spiritual mentor, my advisor. I could no longer disown him than I could the black community. He disowned them. So here was this great talent who was talking about bees, using the N-word and calling people hoes. This great talent now writes a song and he's like, uh-oh, I don't want anything to do with you. Where is the real Barack Obama? Where is his core?
Sean, are you holding John McCain accountable for the fact that hate websites are going up all over the place?
Yeah, stop
are you holding him accountable
That's not
for that?
the answer. I'm asking you where.
That's the analogy. It's not coming from Barack Obama. It's
I'll
coming
ask Doug Show because he's going to be intellectually honest.
I will.
Where is Barack Obama's core? He knew what this Ludacris. In 2007, Ludacris did a fundraiser for him in Atlanta. He knew what he was all about.
Bill Burton took the first...
Only for political expediency. And I'll throw this to Bay Buchanan. It's not out of principle, Bay. It's because he got caught that he's friends with another radical, and only because he got caught, he's going to throw him overboard just like everybody else. I want to go to you. So Barack Obama, and I want you to try and explain this to our audience. So Barack Obama has Ludacris, who uses the B word, the N word, calls women hoes, misogynist language, etc. He has a 2007 fundraiser for him in Atlanta. He calls the guy a great talent, and now all of a sudden, if he throws him overboard, you're actually going to believe that he's doing it out of principle, not out of political expediency. Is that the truth?
Yeah, I do think that he has strong political principles. Yes, Sean. You know, I'm upset about the fact that the B word's in there too. But you know, I'm wondering where you were 6 months ago when mainstream media was openly calling Hillary Clinton the B word. Where were you then, Sean?
But here's the point. You know, Doug. Look, you're an intellectually honest Democrat. He's doing it not out of anything other than political expediency. Correct?
He's got to do it. It's the right thing to do. He's late. But it's the right thing to do.
But it's political expediency.
Of course, everything is political expediency.
And Reverend Wright was political expediency.
Absolutely.
And William Ayers is political expediency.
He hasn't disavowed Ayers yet.
Well, he actually did. And Father Flager, you know, same thing. So I guess this raises the point, Bay Buchanan. Who is this man? America is literally choreographed big events. He's out there telling the world, this is the moment the world has been waiting for. Me, the anointed one. I used the term for years, Clinton Kool-Aid drinkers. There's now the Obama Kool-Aid drinkers. The anointed one can do no wrong. He's perfect. And even if he disassociates from his great friends, it's just because it's the right thing to do.
Thank goodness for George Bush. Sure, otherwise it would be a much tougher election.
All right, TheHill.com names its 50 most beautiful people on Capitol Hill. And here is a small sample of those who made the cut. And at number 1, Congressman Brad Ellsworth from Indiana. Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi, and keep them off the list. The other members included other state representatives and several aides, by the way, who are far more deserving than Nancy Pelosi.